Assalamualaikum, everyone who is watching. Hi. So there's a small change in how the viewing is going on today. I should probably switch my seats to the other side so you guys can have a better look at me. I hope that works. Yeah. And hopefully that's better. So, Assalamualaikum, everyone. Welcome to another show of Friday Night Live. Thank you for tuning in. Hopefully we can get to say something worthwhile that will make you enjoy this show. Sorry for being late. Today was a really tough day. Had to go to Bangi to do some data collection, but I like literally just finished the like the bus just dropped us off at the university gate, and then I just went to my room, picked up my friend, and then we're here in the studio now. There's actually two cameras right now recording me. As usual, there's the Periscope camera where you guys can go watch, and then there's my Instagram live feed. I hope you guys can hear me. Usually it's not this far away, so I hope it's better. So my friend here in the studio, Muj, he'll be helping me. Read all your comments. So if there's anything, you can just say it in the chat, and he'll relay it on to me. So, yay! So I basically threw out the serious, well-structured or semi-professional style I was going for in the beginning. I felt that was not really working with me. I prefer a more freestyle style. And then also my friends told me that works for me, as well as Muj here and my family. So I guess I'm gonna try to go with that more often these days. So once again, I apologize for being 10 minutes late for our show, but stuff happens, right? Life. So anyways, starting off, you already heard the music, the intro, and everything. I have here something called a running order, which is basically how the show will go from 8 to 9. So we already skipped like a lot of parts. So we're gonna, what's it called? Backtrack? Yeah. Okay. So we're gonna
backtrack, and we can take a breath.
Yeah. I might need to take a breath as well. I've been. Whew. Okay. So my other phone just turned off. Yay! So yeah, that happens as well. So it's okay. It's just one of those days. So we're going to backtrack a bit, and then we're going to go to the important part here of the night, and which is introducing our guests, of course. So Muj, can you introduce yourself?
Okay, Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
My name is Muhammad Mugtaba. I'm a final year computer science student in Iium. And I'll be joining Ahmed today to talk about the main theme of this episode.
Yep. And the main theme, for people who, for you guys who are wondering what are we going to be talking about, we're going to be talking about UIA, just UIA. You can call this a rant, I guess, but we're not going to just make it a rant. It's sort of a continuation of my train wreck last time, where I had to be on a show alone, and
Let's call it a discussion.
A discussion,
yeah.
Sure. So this is going to be like a discussion here, continuing what we were doing, what I was doing in the last show, where I was talking about Isla Town Hall, which already happened and was actually pretty interesting. It was the first time I've been to Isla Town Hall, and I never even knew it existed, and it was like I'm glad I joined and went to Isla Town Hall, because it's not just you go there and complain. You go there and provide solutions, and and your solutions might actually be taken into consideration by the university and implemented if it's feasible or it meets proper criteria, etc., after it goes through decision-making committee and all that. So it was interesting to see. and I was going to also share my my emotions that I talked about on the show last time. But I didn't have enough time since I was committee, and it's okay. We're gonna talk about them this time on this show. So, like I said, we're going to be talking about UIA and the issues happening here. But before that, I want to shout out to Spordemic. They humbly requested for me to give them a shout out during my show. Since Spordemic will be happening tomorrow. So, guys, be sure to check it out. Go support your country. Watch them play futsal, badminton, and definitely join us for the IQ night, because I'm gonna be emceeing that night, guys. Be sure to come check it out. Okay, it's going to be an experimental hall on the 7th of April. So, come check it out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Come support your country, or come support a country that you like. Whichever you want. It's going to be fun. Be there. 7th of April. The timing, I should probably know what timing it is since I'm emceeing. It's going to be 8:30. Yes. Yes, it's going to be 8:30 p.m. So 8:30 p.m. 8 p.m. Experimental Hall. 7th of April, which is Sunday. Now that that's out of the way, we can go to the first segment of the night. We're going to start talking about UIA and what can it do to improve the overall quality of life for UIA students.
Yeah, good old UIA.
Yeah, good old UIA.
We can start talking about the fact that it's actually pretty impressive how much things have been changing in like the past year or two.
Yeah, like Iium website has been has witnessed
finally
so much more change than is normal. So
I don't know how many years. It's like it's went from Web 1.0 or something from like 2005 standards straight to like 2018, man. That's
actually one of the good things that has been happening. It actually looks a lot more slick.
Yeah, it looks slick and sleek. More importantly, like it's kind of useful, you know. Once you actually go to the website, you feel like you might want to stay there and read something. Before, it was always like just a useless obstacle on the way of like logging into the Wi-Fi network or something.
Well, so, that part is still.
Right now, it has news. It has news related to university, related to the.
Yes, I see it on the front page, which is actually very good. It gives the university credibility, I guess.
Yeah, a little bit of rep.
Rep, yeah. So, other things that we're going to be talking about today include IM's facilities, and as being students here in UIA. We know a lot about that. Academics, maybe we'll try to touch upon that, and as well as just anything basically that comes to mind on how it can make our life better.
Yeah. So, as a side note, last time your friend was mentioning how the SRC is becoming like a student union.
Yeah.
And that the students would basically have more power in the university to
that's true,
to contribute to overall improving student life, right?
Yep.
So we can also discuss things that students can do to improve the students' life and ecosystem for the university.
Fun fact, actually, guys, about the student union. The student union actually, right now, they're considering it's going to become a full-time job. Whoever gets a 1-year tenure as a committee member of the student union is actually not going to be studying for that 1-year duration, because they're going to be so swamped with student union tasks that they can't possibly do both things at the same time. So that's really interesting. When I heard that, it was like, whoa, that's actually pretty cool. I should do that. I need to take a break, but I don't know if it actually will be considered a break, to be honest. But it's definitely something I've considered. But let's talk about a little bit more. Let's start first with the academic. What would you suggest UIA do to better the academic life of UIA students?
Like in terms of for the students' comfort or like for their job prospects in the future?
Okay, let's talk about comfort as as a student here in UIA, as well as quality of knowledge and job prospects. I guess both of those we'll put them in one category.
Well, for the quality of knowledge or job prospects, I actually wanted to talk about the difference between focusing academics to prepare a student for academics in the future to like work as a teacher and stuff like that, versus preparing them for industry. So those are like two different skill sets usually.
True.
And in research universities, which is kind of what Iium is, they tend to focus on the academics.
That is true.
So we learn a lot of theory, we learn a lot of different topics, and we kind of dabble in many different skill sets. But by the time we graduate, if you didn't like decide for yourself that you wanted to master a certain skill, you would just end up with a lot of knowledge but not a lot of practice.
That's true.
And you don't have much to show for it when you want to say that you can do a certain job.
That's actually a lot like go ahead.
Like, well, I can't expect the university to kind of change its ways, to focus more on industry and less on academics. I think what it can do is, what I would like to do is like to basically free up more of our time with things like those university requirement subjects, so that we can have more student-filled activities. More, for example, the clubs, the co-curriculum clubs.
Yeah.
They could be more full-time, so that we can actually try to improve a certain skill set for industry, while also studying
Like
our
how
courses.
would the co-curriculum that UIA offers right now help actually in
certain things like photography, things like that. Those are the kind of skills that you can make use of.
Well, they're useful for specific majors, but not all, I guess. Like, let's say for engineering.
You don't have to be restricted to a certain field to use that kind of skill.
So just
right?
basically skills that will help you in the outside world, you mean?
Like, I mean, if they did that, if they did like give us more room to do that, we could have more clubs like that are still related to your course, like engineering club or computer science club or whatever.
Yeah.
But you would focus more on practice.
Rather than theory.
You would try to get projects, like real projects, from the industry or from anywhere outside of UIA, so that students can partake in those projects, and that can actually go in like their resume and their portfolio, and it can improve their skills.
That is actually a great idea. Like, I'm actually wondering, like, usually when we see all these high school movies or even just series or shows about college life, they usually have this plethora of clubs. You're like, you're so confused what to join. There's like debate, there is programming, there's robotics, there is cooking, there is everything basically. And I feel like this is actually something that lacks here in UIA.
Like we do have the debating, definitely like
debate.
one of their
UIA is one of the
things.
best. Yeah.
They have cooking as well. They have photography. But aside from that, it's like just sports and
like
it's basically just like stress relief things.
So like, I guess so. Like, what I would try to say is program or major centric clubs or like specialization centric clubs are what's lacking.
Like professional, right?
Yeah, exactly. Something that'll help you get recognized in the workplace.
Yeah. Right now, like it's not really feasible with our current curriculum because of how much of our schedule is like filled with courses.
That is true.
We have like probably about half of it is actually core subjects.
It is, yeah.
And half of it is like
that is actually extremely accurate, guys. Like for us in communication, around 60 something of our curriculum is core, which is what we need to know about this major of communication, and then 60 something is university required UNGS, Bahasa, Koku, and all of that things. This might anger some, but it's my opinion. I feel like it's completely unnecessary. Like we have our friend, he studies in New Zealand. He had no nearly no university required courses. He was able to finish in like 3 years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
So
And
we
they
can
have
save.
like a yearly project, I think, like something like the final year projects that we have.
Mm-hmm.
They have like yearly ones,
Oh wow,
and
that keeps them on their toes. Yeah.
yeah, and they're like part of real competitions. Like what they make are like real products,
Mm.
and they can win money and things like that.
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay, now that's news to me. I just found out about this. That's really interesting to know. Like we need actually things like this. Like for me in communication, I feel like we don't have enough hands-on practice. Like apart from Iium FM, which is honestly great. Like this studio is probably one of the most awesome things I've experienced here in UAE. Honestly, like not trying to like I don't know. There's a phrase for it, but I don't think I can really say it on the radio. but when the first time I saw Iium FM, I was actually really blown away. I was like, "Whoa, this place looks amazing!" And after I knew that it actually cost 1.5 million or something like that. Like that's what I heard. I don't know if it's true, but I was actually like really wowed. Like these are really awesome equipment, guys. Like Audio Technica, Plantronics. So. For audiophiles, they know that this is like some legit equipment, Rode, So apart from Iium FM, this is probably Iium FM is probably one of the best things here. But let's like other than Iium FM, we have Iium TV, which concentrates on TV production, but I feel like it's not enough. I guess like it's great, but it's not. It's not. How do I say this without offending? It's not.
What is Iium TV?
Iium TV is basically like this. Okay, not like this. Like it's student initiative, I guess, in a way, or student based, but it's TV, and they broadcast to YouTube instead of something else. Yeah, YouTube.
Oh, it exists as
It
a
exists.
stream of Iium FM to YouTube.
Yeah.
What?
Why we're not doing MFM to YouTube is another question that I'd like to ask, but I don't know. So, but yeah, it exists, and I've been on it, and it's really cool. Honestly, like it makes you feel like you're on an actual studio. You have camera 1, camera 2, and then the presenter. Whenever camera 1 is on, they look at camera 1. Whenever camera 2 is on, they turn and look camera 2. It's really like it's really great. For student level, but I feel like it can be more. Yeah, I guess that's what I want to say. It can be more. It can be more professional. We can do more with it, with a little bit more better equipment. Maybe a dedicated course. Like we don't have like most media. What's it called? Majors have like an introduction to photography, an introduction to videography, to editing software, and then things like that. And maybe even they have a little bit more concentrated or more in-depth course for who wants to get the more in-depth course. But we don't have that here, and I feel like this is really important. Like for me, I want to work in this field, in the practical field, and if I feel like I don't have enough training as a student of UIA, and I feel like that's really important for me to get during my time.
Comes back to the thing I mentioned about having the student initiatives,
Yeah.
which help us fill in the blanks for these like skills that we don't get to learn
Sure.
in our courses.
You're talking about how student union can help do that, right?
Well, I think that's probably the most likely way for it to happen now, right?
True, it is actually. If the student the SRC becomes the student union, and the students do gain more power, then it's probably going to be the way that this happens.
And like, if you want to speak more about Iium FM, I think I mentioned before how like podcasts, if you heard of them, are becoming a thing like on YouTube.
This is
especially.
technically a podcast.
Yeah, it's pretty much something like this, but more. Well, it's usually both video and audio only on platforms like Spotify.
Yeah.
So they're becoming really popular.
Wait, Spotify does podcasts?
Yeah, some people will upload to Spotify. They'll upload to other apps that are specifically for podcasts.
Huh. Okay.
So you can find like the list, and you can find them as episodes, like every episode.
Okay.
And so the thing with that is that it's kind of simple to do.
Yeah, it is.
It's
doing
kind
it.
of fun. Yeah, it's kind of fun for people who really have a lot to say, like who want to talk about a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a form of monetization, because usually when a podcast picks up, gets a lot of traction, a lot of regular viewers, people can get sponsored.
Yeah.
All they have to do is,
Yeah.
you know, like read out sponsorship message, maybe a product, advertise a product,
Or
something.
drink something, since it's also video. Yeah.
The radio people can't see the drink, so
Well, that's if you get to have it played on the radio. Like I
I
think
mean,
for
like the audio only listeners, because it will also be usually the audio only version.
wait, so the
they'll
audio
usually
only
give
version.
they usually give them like a kind of a written
Ah.
message to read during the podcast.
So you can only listen to the audio version, but that you can't like do it while you're in a car or something, right?
The audio version?
Yeah. Well, because
Why
it's not
not?
because it's not it's not on an FM band.
Yeah, but I mean, cars have internet, man.
Oh yeah, recent cars.
Yeah. So
Okay.
they also have the Android Auto,
Uh,
which is for cars, stuff like that. Yeah. Spotify is available actually on cars.
oh wow.
It's available on literally everything.
Oh wow. I am finding out some interesting new information today.
So yeah. So the thing is, I think if we like using that idea,
Mhm.
you can turn IAM FM into another monetization for students. Could become like a job, like a side income. People would take it more seriously. Try to form a regular show with a theme.
Dude, that is
with
a
lot of
that is a really
viewers.
good idea. Like I have not thought about that at all. This is a really good idea. Like I've always thought, like yeah, sure, my show will hopefully what's it called, get traction, become big, and the biggest I thought of is like I'll move from IMFM to IMTV, and it'll be like an actual Friday Night Live like show where I get people and then we're doing funny skits and things like that. But I've never really went as far as to think that it can actually get international like traction, and then people will join in to
Yeah, even at a national level, like I think some of the stuff we talked about, like even the cultural shocks, cultural differences, stuff like that, would be pretty relevant to like Malaysian viewers. Malaysians use YouTube a lot, actually.
True.
So even if you just get a national level like popularity, you could probably get enough people to like have a local company or a company that has a branch here to like sponsor your content.
That would actually be a great idea. I'm gonna look into that. I'm definitely gonna look at. We're gonna discuss this further when we. See, the thing is, guys, with my friend Mudge here, this conversation is basically an extension of our normal conversations that we usually have in our rooms. So yeah. Anyways, we're going to go to a break since it's done right now, and then we will be back shortly after. So we are back, guys. This is just usually what we do behind the scenes when you can't hear us but can see us through the camera. Just goofing off. So we are back with the second segment of the night, and hello, new viewers. Thank you for joining. Thank you for joining the stream. Just for those who recently joined, today I have Mudge in the studio with me, and we are talking about what UIA could do to improve the quality of life of UIA of the students of UIA students. So if you have anything to add, or if you have any suggestions.
It's not just the quality of life. It's more of like quality of life would be like things you talked about last time.
Okay, yeah.
Improving the showers, stuff like that.
We're going to get to that. Okay,
We
so it's
talked
not.
about how to improve the quality of the education,
Yeah,
as well as giving like channels for monetization and things like that.
true. So it's not just quality of life, guys. It's quality of life, quality of education, and maybe side income for students. Like any idea is welcome. If you guys want us to discuss it and talk about it, go ahead and say it in the chat and we will. So right now, back to our conversation here. By the way, guys, if you can't hear me, I suggest going to the Periscope link uh, which has the what's it called, the actual live feed with better audio quality, since we're using these studio grade microphones here. And
what is
the link?
the link? Like you can read it
okay.
out.
I would read it out, but my phone is actually the one doing. I sent you one of the what's it called? What do I'm losing words here. The design for the.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so it's probably going to be something like periscope.com/IOMTV. That's like most probably is going to be like IOM FM, sorry, IOM /IOM FM or something like that. If you guys can't hear me here, you'll hear me better there. So hello, new person. I'm sorry I can't see you from that far, and the phone that I was planning to use to watch the stream and reply to you guys turned off, lost charge, so I can't do that either, so my apologies. Last minute preparation, I have to say, is not the best thing that I could do. Moving on with our show. So we talked about how UIA can improve the academic well-being, or academic well-being of students. Let's now talk about the quality of life. What do you think? Like, how do you think UIA can improve on that? Being, having to stay more than 5 years in IIUM Mahallas, and then what year and a half before that, or a year in Metric?
Oh, Metric. Metric was another case altogether, man. Like, it was like they had to move out, right?
Yeah.
Just left that campus, man. Metric was like a prison yard.
Well, it is it's a boarding school. It's the equivalent of a boarding school, so it's
basically
very strict.
You're also treated like that there. Like, even you can't just walk out the gate like anytime you want.
Yeah, I heard.
That that is strict
Curfew.
schedule. Yeah, for it's basically one day in the week. The Pasamalam day there is Tuesday.
Okay.
So Tuesday evening, we would be allowed to go out between like 5 to 7, something like that.
Damn.
And so most people would go to, like, actually I don't know most, but it's like some people would go to the Pasar Malam. But there was also the Jaya One Mall, like across the street, which had Wendy's.
Jaya One, I don't remember Jaya One. I remember there was a sugar factory.
There was a factory like on the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nearby. It's like walking distance.
Yeah.
It's not a great place. Like, it has bars and stuff there.
Okay then.
But it had Wendy's, so yeah, we used to go to Wendy's there. So it was our non-Malay food of the week.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It closed down, right?
What did
Metric BJ campus.
Yeah, I mentioned that, right? Like, they had to ditch the campus.
Ah, okay. I thought you had to ditch the campus and live outside. Okay, my bad. Yeah.
They recently opened
Pago, right?
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called. What is it? Pago?
No, the place is in Pago. Like, they opened a campus in Pago.
Campus. I don't remember the name of the place.
I think it's Pago. And some of the CFS also study in Kuantan. Some go to Kuantan, some go to Pago. So it depends on your major. Back to the point.
Okay.
Yep.
So, I mean, obviously the Mahalla could use a lot of help.
Mm-hmm.
Like sanitation, primarily.
Yes. We can definitely elaborate more on that.
The food, actually, I like it. Like, not every mahalla has, a good selection of food. But there's enough, I think, for everybody.
There actually has been more complaints about food from female mahallas than there has been from male mahallas. Because female mahallas, they're overpriced and not that great of quality. So
I wouldn't know about that, because I think we can't go to them, right?
No, we can.
Can?
Yeah, we can. Just after a certain time, we can't.
Yeah, but I see a lot of girls coming to the male cafeterias.
Better prices, better quality of food. But let's face it, guys, it's usually Ali. Ali has the best selection. And
it's Ali and Siddiq.
Ali, yeah.
The fact that they're like next to each other, it's like it's the one monopoly in the UIA.
That's true.
So, yeah.
When it comes to food, I can't really complain too much, I guess, about it. Like, yes, a lot of mahallas can use more varieties because some are absolutely dead. Like I go there sometimes when it's peak hours for students to go and eat, and it's just dead. Like 5 students are sitting down having something to eat, maybe because they're too tired to go to some other mahalla. So like something like Bilal, like it nearly has
Bilal
nothing.
is okay on like Fridays.
I've never been to Bilal on Fridays, to be honest. But
Yeah.
usually on normal days, it's so quiet. Like I was like, I never think that it's the cafeteria, to be honest.
I mean, it's
But
like
then-
on the end of the earth, so most people, unless
True.
you live there and you don't
I
want to
wonder
go
how
to
Salah
another
ad-Din is in that case.
I don't know.
Salah ad-Din, for those who don't know, is like the how do I? It's like it's completely
It's like traveling to another town
yeah.
just to get to your room.
Yeah, it's like up on a hill, so getting up there is already difficult enough, and it's really far. So it's complete, like it's nearly cut off. Like it's like nobody nearly. Oh, okay, I'm blabbering, but it's really far, and it's yeah, it's really far, guys. I don't need to elaborate more on that.
Okay, back to the
Back to quality of life. Yeah, so
like food is not a big
yeah, food is not a
an
big
important
issue.
criteria, right?
But I feel like the most important one, at least for me, is the facilities.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for us in Ali, I think Ali is okay. So you know how you can't have it all. Ali has great food, but it doesn't have great facilities. So that's how it is actually in let's say in Zubair. Zubair has good facilities, but not too great foods. Or recently after the renovation, not too great of a food selection. But yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Like facilities in Ali, like Block C is really well known for being horrid, which is the best word I could
Most of
choose.
them are, right? Most blocks.
Some blocks are worse than others. PG block is good, okay. PG block A block, which I'm in, is decent. Okay, it's not too bad in terms of cleanliness, but in terms of the bathrooms and whatnot, no, it needs a lot of work. But then block C, I stayed there for one semester. It was not pleasant. It was not pleasant, but I feel like
How likely is it that they can fix those issues, man?
I feel like it's likely. I feel like it's simple. They can do it if they just put their heads
like
to it. You
some
know.
maintenance, right? I don't know if there's
Yeah,
any
it's-
kind of maintenance in.
True. Like
Most of them have
the water coolers haven't been changed in forever. We
Yeah.
taste the metal in the water. Like it's already become so normal. Like we don't even care anymore. And like I don't know if I told you about the bathroom stall in our mahalla. The water was running, like the hose was
Hose is
broken.
just leaking.
Not leaking.
Like full pressure.
Yeah, full pressure, just
for
gushing
like
out water.
Months, right?
Yeah, 3 to 4 months just gushing out water. It was the most horrible thing for me to see every day, because I have OCT tendencies, so I try to fix it and then I can't fix it. And then when I find some sort of fix that decreases the water flow, some idiot comes and then just removes that temporary fix that it's just gushing out water again. So that really pissed me off. That time was tough for me. But yeah, that's when it comes to facilities. So like facilities really could use a lot of work, especially in Mahalla Ali, to be honest. Like everyone knows it. Also, one other thing that I actually like, this is actually when I was thinking of doing this topic, I thought about talking about this. This one was really the most important one for me. Some of you might not know. Actually, most of you might not know. Okay, most of you will not know.
Okay, what is it?
Going on, that I used to study veterinary medicine in Egypt, and veterinary medicine is no walk in the park. It's a demanding major. It's difficult. Even though we were doing veterinary medicine in a decent university, Cairo University, it's top 500, I think. We still had we still had no compulsory attendance. Like, this is something that's been bugging me for a really long time. After I experienced the university life in Egypt and coming here, it was actually a huge change for me, from having to not worry about attending an 8 a.m. class, which I still used to worry about attending, even though it wasn't compulsory because they were important subjects. And as a responsible university student, I felt the need that I should go to attend these classes myself. And then coming here, having to wake up at 8 a.m. to go attend, let's say, Tilawa class. Something, yani, alhamdulillah, I know pretty well. A course that is unnecessary for me. The only reason I am taking it is because I missed the Tilawa exam. So it's a huge contrast, and it's stressful. Like, why should students have to be subjected to that kind of stress? That's the question I'm asking. We already have enough stress with exams, even though some kulliyas like yours have, eradicated most of the exams, which is kudos, honestly, to ICT. ICT, keep doing whatever you're doing. You're doing great, and hopefully it's an example for other kulliyas. So there's the stress of exams. Then there's the stress of not being able to do events that will help you later on after you graduate, or add to your add to your CV, or experience even in event organizing, whatever it is, or even connections at the very least, So there's that. And then, there's the stress of, I said exams, and I said events, and then there was another one.
Personal.
Yeah, exactly. Let's say you're just having a really bad day, and then you've missed a few classes, and then your next one, if you don't go, it's a bar, and you've having a really bad day. We're not talking like, I stubbed my toe. No, we're talking your car got stolen, your wallet got stolen, your pet just died, and you still gotta go to class. And it's just not your day, and you still have to worry about that. That's just not right. To me, that's just not right.
I still don't know what the actual reason is for the implementation of it, but the first time it happened, I heard like it was for the lecturers. Like, lecturers would say that students would skip classes, and then they would perform really badly, and then they would like complain to the lecturer, like they didn't teach them well, or they didn't like inform them maybe online, like what are the right things to study and stuff like that.
But that's not right.
So they're like, instead of allowing that, they were like, if every student has to attend, is both more just for the lecturer, and it's more likely for them to perform better. And after that, there was also the visa thing.
Okay, yeah, that one
out of nowhere, they just started asking for like the
that one was recent after the whole EMGS thing, but before that, I remember it wasn't.
Yeah, it came with the EMGS thing.
Yeah, but I feel like that's just babying. They're not giving them a proper transition from high school life into university life. They're like, a lot of these students, they're coming in university, they're already 17, 18. They should be ready to vote.
I think that's kind of the theme here. Everything is, a lot of things that should be optional, like all the unnecessary courses. They make them compulsory because they think we should be forced to learn them.
Well, it doesn't give us room to grow to grow into adults, to have responsibility, because everything is forced onto us. We're not doing this out of responsibility, we feel the need to do this. We're doing this out of enforcement. We just have to do it because, if we don't do it, we fail and we don't get the certificate that we want. Yeah. That's wrong. I feel this is a really strong thing I feel about. It doesn't help you grow. You're not being responsible you're not going to your classes because you feel the need to go. You're going to your classes to meet a quota. You go to class, you could sleep in class, you could text in class, you could watch a show in class.
Yeah.
Like, it's
I think I told you, right, how for my English, my
LE
topics
4000
for the paper was basically about compulsory attendance.
Yeah. How did that go?
So I remember some of the like the evidence or whatever, supporting evidence that I had to find. So they talked about things like that, like a bunch of, I think not enough research has been done. Like when it comes to research involving people, it's difficult because you kind of have to
Get a
You-
wide variety, I guess.
you need a lot of people involved. You need to take time out of their day. You need to take change the structure of the curriculum, for
I
example,
totally
that
understand.
already exists.
Like, on a side note to just what you're saying, we were like collecting surveys
Oh, yeah,
today
you're
in
doing that
Bangi.
today, right?
Yeah, that was one of the most tiring experiences I've had to go through in my life, and also like sad experiences.
Who were the people that you were?
We were collecting surveys on from factory workers, regardless of their hierarchy, I guess, in the factory, whether they're the CEO or driver. So it was really difficult because you'd go to
Yeah.
these people and you're smiling and you're like, "Hey, excuse me, can I have 5 minutes of your time?" And he goes, look at you, just gives you the scorn, and it's like, with his hand, just shoo away.
Yeah.
And it really hurts, guys. It happened to me so many times today, and it really hurt. And then female friends, go and ask the guy, and then he takes their survey and does it just because they're female. That is messed up. I call for equality on this. But yeah, so that's on a side note to
Yeah.
explaining how hard it is to get.
So for some of the the studies or some of the sample people, the students,
Mm-hmm.
the lecturers would say that one of the main focuses nowadays, I think, for lecturers is engagement, right? Class engagement,
Yeah.
to get people to actually make it a two-way communication instead of just sitting down for 1 hour listening to a lecture,
Mm-hmm.
because that's the part that most people find boring, and if there's more engagement, people will be more willing
True.
to come to class.
Yeah.
So there's kind of I don't know whether to call it a double-edged sword or two ways of thinking of this.
Mm-hmm.
One way is that when you force people to come to class and they are not, they have no interest to engage,
Mm-hmm.
they don't like the class, or they're having a bad day, or they're really tired, they end up going to class just to sleep, to play on their smartphones, to chit-chat.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the people that go there to want to learn, to really listen and focus and to talk with the lecturer.
Yeah.
And those people's presence can end up affecting both the students that want to learn
That is true.
and the lecturers who
That is true.
get easily distracted by people not paying attention.
Mm.
So in that way, it can reduce the entire class's performance.
That is actually.
But, yeah.
I want to read that that study. That will probably help my case a lot. Yeah, go ahead.
Another thing is that, if you can manage to make it more engaging,
Mm-hmm.
then, I don't think it applies to everybody, because different people have different learning styles, right?
Yeah.
So the people that like to learn by talking, to people, to lecturers and whatnot, they will want to go to class to engage with the lecturer.
Mm-hmm.
But some people, in some of the studies, they tried different methods for different groups. Some would just get lessons online, they get the course materials.
Yeah. And then
they
just
get
self-learn.
assignments, self-learned. And they're the ones that go to the class, and then they compare their performance for the exams. I don't think there's any one that's just better for everybody,
Yeah.
Each
Depends on the
has
person,
their own
yeah.
learning style.
It's true. Some people do better with self-learning. Some people do better with someone else teaching them.
Yeah, and the same goes for the lectures, right? Some of them would
Yeah.
be really good and entertaining in the classroom.
Yeah.
Some of them are maybe not entertaining, but or interesting, but they're very organized. So they can have a folder with really laid out, files, exactly what you need to learn, and then they have their own notes as well, stuff like that. So depending on your learning style, the teacher's teaching style, it would be better to have more options, basically,
Yeah, it's true.
instead of enforcing one way or just having the lectures but making it optional. It doesn't really help people either, because they're gonna have to, go look for their own study material.
That's true. Yeah, that's actually a problem I
Best-
face sometimes.
Yeah, the best thing would be for the university to try to support more than one learning style.
But it'll be difficult to do both compulsory and non-compulsory. at the same time?
Yeah, it could be what do you call it, like more load on the lecturer if they were responsible for everything.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe they don't have to be responsible for everything.
Like I
Like
believe
maybe
that
some students like go to the class could be the ones that are like filling in the online course material.
Mm. Mm. That is actually something also that's been bothering me. This is just a personal rant, I guess, but there's the university can't really do anything about that. One of the things that I really liked about Egypt was the collectiveness of the students there. What I used to do, I used to go to the lecture to just listen. I never take notes. Until today, I don't really take notes in a class. I just take the key point of what the teacher is talking about and go read it in a book because I feel it's more important to pay attention than take notes. So what I used to do is I just used to listen in class, and then after that, the next day, someone else in class who, let's say, is good at doing both at the same time is taking notes or just taking notes, and then he'll study later, whichever it is. He has written down the notes, compiled them, and then sent them to the printing shops, just like Kaki and all the other ones. And then you just go there and ask him, oh, I want, let's say, physiology, whatever you have on physiology. And then he gives you all the physiology papers and whatnot. That's something that I really admire about the Egyptian students, something that is really lacking here. Like, they just do it out of goodness, just hasanat. I feel like here you ask someone for their notebook and they're going to stab you. So, so yeah, that's something
here, some people do that for exam papers, right? Like I don't know if you know, but
exam papers
for
is
some
exam
papers. They have like past papers. It's the
past
students
papers.
it's the students that collect them though. It's not like lecturers just come and give it to people,
Well, yeah, but that's past papers. It's
preparation for the exams.
Yeah. Of course, I'm not going to belittle their goodwill. Thank you guys for getting it getting it for us. But past papers, we can go to the department and ask for them.
You mean?
Yeah, they're available. Notes aren't. The notes have to be written down. You have to put a lot of effort into preparing them, and then you're giving all your effort to someone for free, out of just goodwill.
Yeah, that's what the online student forums like ALBARAA, that's what it's supposed to help with, I think.
Yeah, but no one's gonna ever.
It's just people don't know how to use it, basically. Both the lecturers and the students.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Are we reaching the time?
We are over time, but technically we're not over time because we started 10 minutes late. So
are we over time? What's the time? Isn't it?
It's 9:01.
57? No.
No. That time is incorrect. We're that time.
Okay.
9:01. Yeah.
So we should be closing, right?
We should be closing at this point. So I guess.
We want to summarize or
I guess
close?
No, we'll summarize. So just in case people have missed. So basically, guys, coming to the end of our show.
Okay, this way or that way?
Yeah, right. So I'm sorry that there's two cameras. So I'll try to look here and look there at the same time. So guys, to summarize our show, we talked about first how my day was going. And then we talked about the how to improve the quality of the education of the students here in UIA, maybe by providing a little bit more co-curricular courses that help strengthen the practical side of the students rather than the theoretical, which is prevalent here in UIA because UIA is a theoretical research university. Also, we talked about the quality of life changes that can help the students. So, just simply maintaining the facilities of the student dorms would be a great step up. The showers that don't have pipes, there's just a hole coming out of the wall, and the bathrooms that don't flush, that are broken.
Sanitation should be really important.
Yes, it should be very important.
Especially with the Islamic name.
Exactly. Like we have a lot of posters in the bathroom saying how you're supposed to flush after yourself and all of that. But then how can we flush after ourselves if the flushing doesn't even work? So there's that. And also we haven't spoken about this, but please add hot water. Yes, we're going to move over that pretty quickly. We also talked about
Iium FM.
Yeah,
potential for monetization, for professional skill development.
That is a really good idea. I'm actually going to pitch that idea to, the IFM people here. They really might like that idea. Maybe we can get a really hit show, that get...
Yeah, the idea was something like podcasts.
Yeah.
That grab attention, could eventually lead to sponsorships.
Yeah.
Which could lead to income for
students,
the IMFM community,
or the
students.
Yeah, or the IMFM studio in itself. Improve the equipment, etc., etc.
Yeah, it should. It's supposed to. I mean, when you spend this much, you want to
get revenue,
make money,
right? Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's actually a very good point.
So yeah.
And also, we talked about the other quality of life improvements, which is my topic that I can never have enough, get enough speaking about, which is the compulsory attendance and how it shouldn't be compulsory. It should attendance for let me just specify, attendance for theoretical classes should be compulsory, like lectures, but definitely practical should not be what's it called,
compulsory.
No,
You're trying to say the opposite, or
no, practicals should be compulsory. Yeah, because you won't get it anywhere else.
But
that's the same for
theoretical
us.
shouldn't, right?
Theoretical shouldn't be compulsory. Practical should be compulsory. That's all I have to say about that, I guess.
And rather than forcing students to attend the class, classes should support more different styles of learning.
Exactly. The more engaging or a more theoretical step-by-step. And yeah, I guess that concludes our show for today. Also, guys, I'm just repeating the shout out that I started the show with. So tomorrow is going to be Sportdemic for 6th of April and 7th of April. Tomorrow is going to be the futsal competition and the badminton, if I presume correctly. And after tomorrow, there's the IQ challenge and another thing. So be sure to come to the venues where they are happening. For the futsal is I'm not very sure. Okay, I'm gonna tell you about the thing that's important to me, which is the IQ challenge, which I'm gonna be emceeing. That's gonna be in the experimental hall on the 7th of April. Experimental hall, 7th of April, 8 p.m. Be there. Gonna be fun. Come. What's it called? What's the word? Cheer for your country and all of that good stuff. So thank you guys for, oh my god, the live has ended, or is ending. Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in, and see you again next show, inshallah. Thank you much for coming to the studio.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you once again.
It's ended.
It's ended. Okay, so thank you guys for tuning in, and assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.